Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jason with JLM Photography. This is a video that none of y'all will watch, but I get requested about it constantly, and so I figured I would go ahead and make a quick little video about this. Basically showing what light stands I'm actually using. It is an Impact CS40M C-stand with a sliding leg. This thing is pretty massive. I've got caster wheels on it right now because I'm basically using it in studio. Probably over the last 6 months, 5 to 6 months, you've been seeing me use this. This is actually a tripod that I've pretty much turned into my new light stand. This is the Geekoto AT24 Pro Dreamer. It is a 77-inch in height tripod converted now to light stand. Over the course of this video, I just kind of wanted to talk about the pros and cons of each of these and why I've kind of switched to using the Geekoto tripod / light stand. You know, why I'm using that now in my videos. I have a lot of people asking about it, and so let's get to it. When I first started the channel, I was using the C-stand. The C-stand, the whole reason why I used the C-stand in the first place was when I was kind of getting my footing going with shooting off-camera flash. You know, I've got the big 36 umbrella here with the big 8600. And when I just use like a regular light stand, it always fell over. You know, sure, I could have used sandbags or my camera bag to kind of weigh it down, but I just never did. And so I decided I wanted to go with something heavy duty. And that's where the big C-stand came in. The problem is, you see I've got this like suitcase scale on it. It actually weighs about 9 to 10 pounds. So it's heavy duty, but it's great to go out on location when you're a one-man band. And, you know, it's not going to fall that often. It still does fall because it still is top heavy. And when that wind comes, it's still going to knock it over. But the same is going to happen with any light stand you typically use. But I just felt more confident, and I felt like this would always do better than any other light stand that I had. And so I used this for a long time. Typically, I would carry it over the shoulder for the longest time until I decided to get a cart. And then my wife was like, there's got to be still a better way. And that's where I found wheels, and that I put wheels on them. And so you can easily roll them around. You can easily roll them around downtown, anywhere that's got a fairly even flat surface. And now I've got them on casters or wheels in my studio just to help move them around a lot easier. What are the pros of this one? The pros of this one is the heavy dutiness, I think, is probably the best. The other is this sucker can go really high. I don't necessarily know the length, and of course you're not going to be able to see it, but I've got 12-foot ceilings in my living room, and I'm going to go ahead and extend this all the way up. And I can't actually fully extend it because I've got the wheels on it. So the wheels actually are making it about 4 inches taller. So it probably goes up about 12 feet. So massive versatility there. That's something that I do truly enjoy, is being able to get it up higher. Typically the people that I work with are 5 feet to 6 feet. So why do I need it to be up 12 feet? Well, there's a lot of instances where I've kind of got them on steps and I need to still get higher. So I can get this a little bit lower and then get it higher. But there's a lot of times where you need to actually be able to still get your light stand higher, much higher than your model, your subject, in order to get the proper lighting on the shot. So let's see the heftiness of it, the height of it, the durability of it. This thing, literally, I was driving downtown. I had my top down on my car, and I had it in the back seat. It slid out of the back seat onto the highway. This was like 5 or 6 years ago. I realized it right away. I was like, I lost the light stand. Had to stop, go back and get it on the highway. This thing, maybe not this one, but I've got 2 others just like it. Took a beating and it still ticks. I mean, this thing, I'm just lucky it didn't hit anybody. Like, this thing would have caused major damage. But these things are fantastic. One of the other things that I really truly like about this is and I'll try to lift it up here. So on this one, you know, some of the C-stands, the middle leg basically comes out. Well, this doesn't. This kind of lifts just like this. It's that sliding leg, right? And so where this really comes in handy is, as you can see, different levels. Let me see if I can back up just a little bit more. But, you know, if I've got to go up a step, or even it's a weird grade on the ground, you know, you can stack it just like this and you can still get it level and straight. That is probably one of my favorite things about the C-stand. So that durability, the heavy dutiness, the height, and then that sliding leg. Those are the pros of this thing. The cons, man, this sucker's heavy. Like literally, it's 10 pounds. If it's got the light on it, you know, and I'm trying to lug it around with the light, it's really heavy. That's why I put the legs on it. It takes up a lot of space. I'm out of breath just freaking lugging this thing around. It takes up a lot of space. So yes, I'm stupid and I put all of my camera stuff in my Ford Mustang convertible. Having this in there, basically I can't put it in the trunk because there's no space for it in the trunk. I have to actually put it in the back seat. Getting it in the back seat's not hard, but it's not easy. So as far as transportability, that's extremely difficult. Like I couldn't take this traveling with me. I couldn't, you know, pack it in a suitcase or anything like that. So this is pretty much a local use only for me. Let's see, another con. The main one is the versatility is probably one. The weight is another. I mean, again, it's freaking 10 pounds. It really is a lot. So it just makes it not as comfortable, not as user-friendly to lug around downtown. The size, you know, is another con. You can't fit it into a lot of things. You got to have a bigger vehicle. I do have a bigger vehicle. It's my wife's, and I try to not have to use hers as much as I can. So you know, that's kind of where I'm at with this. So that is the Impact C-stand. And I'll get the information for it in the post and in the description. But it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I've got the attachments for it so I can do like over the head lighting also if I needed to. Extremely versatile for in studio. I loved using it a lot out around town, but it kind of just became too much for me to want to lug around. Still very useful, and if I had to, I would do it. There are plenty of times where I'm like, oh man, I wish I had the C-stand as opposed to this new Lightstand / tripod. So let's discuss that. This is basically how it comes, right? So it legitimately is a tripod. It's got a nice swivel head. So that's really cool. Like if you need a tripod, and this is a great little tripod. So you can lock it down, you know, make it tight. You know, it can go to the base plate of your camera. But I wasn't going to use it like that. And this idea did not come to me. I actually went to a workshop with Danny Batista. I'll link him also in the description. Fantastic, just an amazing photographer. He's got a YouTube channel now too. Beautiful, beautiful work that he does. But this is what he uses. He travels all the time. And again, a C-stand just is not useful for travel. But look at this, like minus the head. Look at that. Like it's 18 inches, if that, 16 inches maybe. This will easily fit in a small carry-on, a medium carry-on, a bigger one if I've got an umbrella with me. This is super versatile. As you can also see, super lightweight. Like this thing is super lightweight. This doesn't, just by taking this off, I still have to add an attachment to get my lights to actually mount to it, which all it is this 1/4 inch thread and then whatever that other size is, but you probably know better than I do, but I'll get it also listed in the description. And all that does is that just screws on. Screws on just like that. The light stand, the S mount, whatever it is, the light head, you know, the neck will actually bolt right to that and tighten right to it. Super easy, super versatile. The legs can kind of lock here. You know, they can go out, they can go like in. As I mentioned, it's 77 inches when fully extended. So the legs just basically come out just like this. So it's there like this. Then I can extend the neck here. So that goes all the way up. Again, you're not able to fully see, but 77 inches. I'm 65 inches. So, you know, whatever that is, it's close to 7 feet, 6.5 feet, something like that. You can lock it down again there, but it's also able to drop down here if you need to drop down here. You know, again, to make sure that it's kind of the right height that you need. I just did a video with Maddie. I'll get it also linked. There was a spot where I actually wanted to use it on the side. She was on like this little walk path and I wanted to use it on the side, but it was just too short. 77 inches at that height with the grade that we had, man, the C-stand would have been absolutely perfect. This is just too short for that, unfortunately. If I actually work with anybody that's like 6 feet tall or a little bit taller, this is like right on the edge of being too short. Luckily, I don't work with a lot of people that are that tall. If you do, then maybe this is not the Lightstand tripod for you. But let's talk about the pros and the cons. As you already saw, the biggest pro is lightweight. Like this thing is super easy to carry around. Even if I have my 8200 on it or my 8600 on it, with the umbrella, I can literally put this over my shoulder, just basically like this, with all the legs extended, and walk around downtown, just like that. Super, super lightweight. 77 inches, it might not be as tall as I always need it, but it's as tall as I typically need it. So as far as that goes, the pro is it's typically right about the right height that I actually need. It's perfect for travel. Like something that I've really been wanting to get into is more travel work, like going and either shooting out on location somewhere else other than San Antonio, or you know, teaching. And so either way, I can pack this thing up in a small suitcase and take it with me. I could even like strap it onto my camera bag if I really needed to. Sometimes they might not necessarily like that, the airlines, but you know, it's small enough, lightweight enough that it will easily fit where I need it to fit. What are some of the cons of this thing? Some of the cons on this thing is it's still going to blow over. It's not as heavy duty as this. Granted, I haven't had it fall over as many times, mainly because I think when I set the legs out, they get a little bit of a wide base because I'm typically here with it. And so I get a pretty good wide base, like 3 maybe feet or 4 feet, you know, out. So I've got a wide base with it, which is pretty nice. One of the other things is I don't know what the material is actually made of, but it has bent a little bit. So you can see like it doesn't slide back in all the right way. It still works, not as well as the other one that I ended up buying just to replace it, but like it'll still work. Let's see here. What's another con? One of the other things is this thing actually up top comes off. It doesn't come off all the time. And I rarely have ever had any issues with it actually fully coming off because I typically pay attention to it, really. I try to make sure that I know if it's coming loose or getting ready to fall off. But the other day I was actually doing a shoot. I had my 8200 on and it basically kind of unthreaded itself and came off. One of the other things that really, really bugs me, and so I've hopefully fixed it, is these are little Allen head, or what is that, a hex key type little bolt there on the legs. It's cool, but the problem is they tend to come unthreaded a lot. So I got tired of doing it, and what happens is the leg just like falls all the time. But you can see it's like, this one's a little bit loose, but you know, this one definitely is tight. I actually put Loctite on it because I felt like the Loctite would maybe help it not come unthreaded because it was coming unthreaded more often than I liked. I felt like I was tightening it up every couple weeks, and that's really frustrating. I did forget to mention, this also will double as a monopod. If you want to make it a monopod, I've never had to do that, but this is basically also a monopod. It's got monopod capability. You basically unthread here, you take this off, you put it up here, and then you can go with the ball socket right up here on top. So very cool, very versatile. The pros and cons, again, each one has pros, each ones have cons. For my workflow right now, I'm using this. So much lighter weight, so much easier to carry around downtown. Having the C-stand on wheels is very nice. Having the C-stand on wheels with the umbrella out and the light downtown is very cumbersome. Even though it rolls, you're still in the way of everything, man. And you've seen me, you've seen my videos. I'm carrying the cart. If I'm pushing that thing, I mean, it's a lot. It just takes up so much space. Being able to either one, pull this down real quick, put it in the cart with the umbrella still open, or what I typically do is just fold the legs down kind of and just carry it over the shoulder. Makes this one so much more versatile and easy to use. That's it. If you've got any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I've used the 8600 on this with the 32-inch or 34-inch. I don't think I've ever used my 42-inch umbrella on here. So I feel like that one would be a little bit heavy. And so that I probably should put that as a con. C-stand, I can easily use a 42-inch umbrella. This one here, it's not as heavy duty, so putting a 42-inch umbrella on it, it's going to be pretty top heavy. 34-inch is not bad, and so that's kind of where I've been finding bread and butter with this is the 8600 with the 34-inch umbrella. But if it can hold that and it can shoot that all day, then this is perfect. And really, again, the main reason I started going with this is because I wanted to start traveling with it so I can put this, my 8200, and I've got a small, lightweight 32-inch umbrella that folds down super small that I can actually take to travel with me. So that's basically it. My new light stand, I really do like it. The Geekoto AT24 Pro Dreamer is what it's called. I'll have it in my list below. You can find the stuff that I use in my Amazon storefront. I'll have that also in the description link. And like I said, if you got any questions, please feel free to ask. Not a lot of people actually even watch these types of videos that I do. So if you've watched it and you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing, you're going to be able to see typically when I post, which is also every Wednesday, but you know, you'll get notifications. So be sure you do that and leave me a comment. And until next time, keep shooting.